Now entering the doo-wop zone.
Welcome to a special edition of the Doo-Wop Revival. Tonight, we will devote the entire hour to one of the greats of the music industry, and I mean greats, and perhaps the most beloved man in doo-wop, Kenny Vance, the man behind the Planetones. Kenny, welcome to the program. It's good to talk to you again.
Thank you, Glen. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful. The question is, how are you doing?
Yes.
How do you feel?
I feel great. I really do. It's been a couple of years, but everything seems to be moving along, and I feel really good. Thank you.
Is there an opportunity? I mean, I get this all the time, Kenny, no matter where I go, because of the show and because of my newsletter. People are constantly asking me, will we see Kenny back on stage again? Is that going to happen? Is that possible for what you've been through?
It is. It is possible. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know that when this first happened, they said probably 8 to 12 weeks was the prognosis, but obviously it's been a lot longer than that. And you've been fairly quiet about it, and I understand why, but that's good news. So there is an opportunity we may see you again because, as you know, your fans out there, me included, miss you tremendously seeing you on stage and hearing that voice.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
I'm glad you're feeling good. Now, Kenny Vance is a singer, he's a writer, he's an arranger, he's a producer of film and TV. He's a TV star, movie star, mentor, and more importantly, he is Professor LaPlano. Hey, you've had success. 18 albums, 4 videos, 17 music credits for films, 17 acting credits, as well as being the music director for Saturday Night Live. Wow, man, you have really had a great career. And it all started way back when you were, like 15 years old with a group called Harbor Lights.
That's correct. That was a group in the neighborhood with Sandy Aguda and Sidel Sherman. And there was, I think, 5 people in that group. And I had been in my mother's basement for a couple of years listening to Louis Lyman and Frankie Lyman and the Channels and, those types of records. And I was singing all the parts. I could sing the falsetto part and the bass parts. And so a friend of mine said, why don't you, he says, I think I can get you over to meet with these people. And I said, okay, fine. And I went over there and I actually sang all of those parts, and they immediately took me into the group and wound up getting rid of the other 3 people. So it became a trio. And not soon after that, we wound up making a record. There was a guy in the neighborhood that owned a record company called Ivy Records. And they had a big hit record called Lullaby of the Bells by the Deltaires.
Absolutely. I played it.
It was a green label, and we went up there and we recorded a song called "What Would I Do Without You," and "Is That Too Much to Ask?" And they were supposed to put it out on the Ivy label, and they wound up selling the master to Jarrow.
Mm-hmm.
And Jarrow was an English company, J. Arthur Rank organization, and it came out, and it actually did pretty well. Cousin Brucey was on WINS at the time, and he did a Rate the Records thing, and he played the Harbor Lights record, and we won. And so that, all of a sudden now, we did some shows. In 1959, we played with Tony Bennett at Palisades Park with Brucey was the host. And, so that's that's how long ago that all was. But that's how pretty much it started.
Then let's listen to one of those first recordings with the Harbor Lights. This is What Would I Do Without You? That's Kenny Vance in the Harbor Lights, back when he was probably, 15, 16, 17 years old, with What Would I Do Without You?
That's right.
You and Sandy then broke off to form another group with the John J. Trainer. What was that group?
Well, it was Jay and the Americans. We wound up, we met Jay Trainer because he was taking the place of Phil from the Mystics. And Jay Trainer is actually the lead singer on Blue Star.
With the Mystics.
He's with the Mystics, and he's the falsetto voice on the flip side with Al Contreras doing the bass part, and Jay Trainer sings the falsetto. And we had met up at a manager's office. There was a manager by the name of Jim Gribble, and he managed the Harbor Lights and he managed the Mystics. And so Jay Trainer wasn't really happy with the group, and a friend of mine, a guy named Terry Phillips, was working up at Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller's office, and he brought us up there, and we auditioned. Howie joined us, and we auditioned with a song called "Wisdom of a Fool."
Then let's listen to that right now. I have that a cappella version, and I'm not so sure if it was done in the office or done shortly thereafter. But let's listen to what could have been Blinky Jones in the Americans with "Wisdom of a Fool."
If you're lucky enough to have someone to love you, then be glad that you have someone to love you. You'll be happy, believe me, if you only listen to the wisdom of a fool. Wisdom of a fool. Take your poor heart, then you do something to it. Then you say to yourself, why did I do it? You'll be happy, believe me, if you only listen to the wisdom of a fool. For I had a love just the same as you. I was too blind to see and be glad that you know she is waiting. You'll be happy, believe me, if you only listen, to the wisdom of a listen to the
All right, I'm talking with Kenny Vance of Kenny Vance and the Planetones. I said Blinky Jones and the Americans. That's what they wanted to call that group, isn't it?
Yeah, Binky.
Oh, is it Binky?
Binky Jones. Jerry Lieber had this very, beautiful imagination. He wrote all of those coaster songs, Yakety Yak, Along Came Jones,
Yep.
So he had that kind of own mind, and I guess he felt like Binky Jones and the Americans was a good name, but Jay Traynor, I guess, freaked out thinking, well, if I'm going to be known for the rest of my life as Binky Jones, I can't get with that. So how about using my nickname, which was Jay?
And they had great success. Some great songs. Tonight was the first one, She Cried. Only in America, just some really good success. You guys opened for the Beatles, the Stones. I mean, you could do a complete documentary in that group because there's a lot of history. But in the late 70s, I guess it started to wind down, and you guys opened up JATA Productions. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, JATA Productions was an office that we opened up, I think it was in 1968. And, we started not having a lot of hits, and United Artists didn't really know what to do with us. They actually got us a lot of different producers. Joe Wizard, who just had done Happy Together with the Turtles, produced us unsuccessfully, and Jimmy Miller, who just produced the Rolling Stone, Traffic, and then ultimately wound up producing Jumping Jack Flash. He produced us, and a few other people, and then we went over to United Artists and said, how about letting us produce our own records? And they said, okay, and so we went into a 4-track studio, and the first record that we recorded was This Magic Moment, and in 1969 that wound up becoming the biggest selling record that we ever had. And right around that time, Richard Nader was starting to run the shows at Madison Square Garden, and we wound up on those shows, and that kind of brought us back. We came out there, and the audience was going crazy, and we sang, not only This Magic Moment, but all of the earlier hits as well.
Mm-hmm. Talk about Walter Beck and Donald Fagen. Tell people who they are. Because you really discovered them.
Well, I guess so. I guess you could say that. We had the office in the Brill Building. I think it was on the 4th floor. And one day, these two guys knock on the door, and they come in, and they tell me that they took the elevator up to the top floor, and they were walking down, and no one would listen to their songs. I said, well, come on in. I have a piano, an upright piano, and they sat down and they played songs like Brain Tap Shuffle and Any World That I'm Welcome To and Caves of Altamira. And I thought, boy, these songs are really, really interesting. And I got a little recording studio up at Pier Southern, and I started to make records with them. And they became, a year later, they came out with an album, Can't Buy a Thrill, would Do It Again and Reelin' in the Years, and they became Steely Dan.
Yeah, great success, great group, really. Then after that became a film career. I mean, the ones that we know, the doo-woppers, American Hot Wax, you did Animal House, Eddie and the Cruisers, Ishtar, Hairspray. I mean, and there's a slew more. But Hot Wax and Animal House really opened up your career as a movie composer, musical director, soundtrack producer, and actor. I mean, it really did all of that, those two, didn't it?
Well, yeah, I you mentioned Ishtar. Most people don't mention it, but I recorded Little Darling with Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty, and that was a really great, really fun and great experience.
Oh, little darling, little darling, where are you? My lover.
And but sure, Animal House, recording John Belushi singing Louie Louie, and then Hairspray did the music for that. And but American Hot Wax was certainly, I guess, looking back at it, and even when we did it, one of the greatest experiences that I ever had, based on the fact that I got a chance to do something that I loved, which was going to the Alan Freed show in Brooklyn when I was maybe, 14 years old, 15 years old, and seeing Chuck Berry and Screamin' Jay Hawkins and Jerry Lee Lewis, and we got to use my job for American Hot Wax was to recreate the Alan Freed show. And actually we hired Jerry Lee Lewis and Screamin' Jay and Chuck Berry, and I got to hang out with these guys for a couple of weeks. And that's where the director came over to me. I was in the truck. Basically, we had a 24-track recording machine in the truck. And he came over to me and he said, "Listen, group." I said, "Well, yeah, I could do it." And I called up some friends of mine, the Brooklyn Dreams, and I got Bruce Sedano, Eddie Hokinson, and Joe Esposito, and I came up with the name Professor LaPlano and the Planetones. And
how'd you get that? Where'd that come from?
Well, I was staying at a friend's house up on Coldwater Canyon, and he had a photo essay book there called Real Life in Louisville in the 20s. And there were all of these pictures in this book. And this one picture caught my eye. It was a picture of a marquee. And there was like the marquee had a sign with two saws. And it said, "For 5 cents, see Professor LaPlano saw a woman in two." And I thought, okay, Professor LaPlano and the Planetones.
All right, let's go to American Hot Wax. And in the movie, you guys are in the studio, and they're trying to get you to do "Come Go With Me." So let's listen to that, and we'll come out and you explain it to us. "Come Go With Me" with Professor LaPlano and the Planetones.
Hold it. Fellas, you're putting me to sleep again. We got to do something. Now, the song has a good melody here. We can do something with this, okay? We need a hook to get the thing going. Some kind of dom doobie doobie. Some maybe like a dom be do 5 doms and a dom be doobie, and then the tones come in with 4 doms against it. I'll show you, and come together on the dom be doobie. Okay?
I knew we'd figure it out. $1 million, right? I mean, that's what hits are made of.
We'll take it about 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dum 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 ba-doo-ba dum 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 ba-doo-ba dum 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 ba-doo-ba dum. Wow 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 wow. I love you, darling. Come and go with me. Don't sell me. Baby, honestly, I need you, darling. So come go with me. Coming through my heart, I need you, darling. Say we'll never part. I need you, darling. So come go with me. Wow, wow, wow,
You never give me a
love me, darling. Come and go with me. Don't, baby, I'm the sea. Darling. So come go with me. Come on, go with me. Come on, go with me.
Another movie to me that brought you back to the forefront, or put you in the forefront, really, for our music was Looking for an Echo.
I got a chance to work with Marty Davidson again. He's the guy that directed Eddie and the Cruisers and Lords of Flatbush and a bunch of other movies that I did with him. And we got Armand DeSante and the Planetones. At that point were Eddie Hokinson and Gary Bonner. And basically we did all of the singing for the fictitious group in the movie Looking for an Echo called Vinny and the Dreamers.
Mm-hmm.
And they lived in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and we got a chance to do a soundtrack album, to the movie called Looking for an Echo. The first CD that we did was from Live at Rosie's Cabaret. It's called Teenage Jazz. And the second album we did was called Looking for an Echo. We did that with Joel Dorn. And I re-recorded Looking for an Echo. And on that CD, we have the original version of it that we got the rights from the company to use that. And that's sort of like the original version is really I did it like a folk song.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on a stool, playing the guitar, and sort of reminiscing about, the old days. And then we did another recording of it, and both of those recordings are on that particular CD. But then when the movie came out, I had been doing Looking for an Echo live, and I incorporated that falsetto part to the beginning of it.
The bridge?
No, in the live performances, woo, woo,
Yeah.
The very beginning
I got
of
you.
it. And
Mm-hmm.
so for the movie, the director wanted that part, so we recorded it in that way, and that basically is the version that we had continued doing live. As a matter of fact, on the Lost and Found Volume 2, there's a great version of Looking for an Echo, a live version of it, I think, which is like the definitive version. So if you get a chance, you might want to play that.
I will do that, but let's now play the title cut from the movie Looking for an Echo.
Erasmus Hall High School, we used to harmonize. Me and Victor and Nappy and two neighborhood guys. We were singing oldies, but they were newies then. And today when I play my old 45 doo-wops to the wall. And if we went to a party and they wouldn't let us sing, we'd lock ourselves in the bathroom and nobody could get in, 'cause we were looking for an echo, an answer to our sound, a place to be in harmony, a place we almost found. And the girls would gather round us and our heads would really swell. We'd sing songs by the moonlows, the harp tones and the dells. And when we sang sincerely, we really sang it high. Even though it was falsetto, we almost reached the sky. We've sung a lot of changes since 1955, and a lot of bad arrangements we've tried to harmonize. Now we've turned into oldies, but we were newies then. And today when I play my old 45s, I remember when we were looking for an echo, an answer to our sound, a place to be in harmony, a place we almost looking for an echo, an answer to our sound, a place to be in harmony, a place we almost looking for an echo, an answer to our sound, a place to be in harmony, a place we almost found.
This is the doo-wop part of you coming back. You got the guys from the Planetones back together. We talked about the Teenage Jazz album. What made you do that? What was the impetus to bring that group back together and take you from that particular moment to where you are right now? Because, I mean, the people in this country and around the world love Kenny Vance and the Planetones, and you know that.
Thank you, Glenn. I think I had come out to California and worked here for many years in the film business, and I was tired of it, and I thought to myself, I'm getting older now.
Little did we know.
Right, little did we know what was coming. And I was, going to be 49, maybe 50 at the time, and I thought, I got into this business as a singer, and I got, an opportunity. Maybe I'll start a group, and I was really naive about it, thinking that if you have a great group, it's actually people will book it. But that wasn't the case. It took about 10 years of hard work before it kind of caught on. And the group that I put together originally had Bruce Sedano and Joe Esposito and Eddie and Murray Weinstock and Jerry Friedman and it was a great group, but it did take all of many years before it caught on. And what I think was the big selling point and why people loved it is that they knew when the Planetones came that they were going to get something authentic, that they were going to be transported back to those times because we remained true to the sound of those days. We didn't try to modernize it in any way. And people like James Shepard and Lee Andrews and people who, Harvey Fuqua and the Moonglows, these are the people, and the Flamingos, Zeke Carey, and we got a chance as the Planetones were starting, we got a chance to work with all of these people as their careers were coming to a close, And, what a thrill for me to meet the people that I had seen at the Alan Freed show.
Mm-hmm.
Became friends with Cleveland Still and Eugene Pitt and Pookie Hudson. And for me, it was, the greatest time. And as time went by, we just kept on remaining true to the sound, and people responded to it.
I picked out a song off that 92 album, The Teenage Jazz, that I think is very appropriate for what you just said. And we're going to play it right now. It's called Life is But a Dream.
Life is but a dream. It's what you make it. Always try to give. Don't ever take it. Life has its music. Life has its song of love. Life is but a dream, and I dream of you, strange as it seems. Each night I see you, I'm trying to tell you just what you mean to me. What you mean to me. I love you with all my heart, adore you and all your charm. I want you to do your part. Come back to my open arms. Life is but a dream, and we can live it. We can make our love none to compare with. I'm trying to tell you just what you mean to me. What you mean to me. I love you with all my heart, adore you and all your charm. I want you to do your part. Come back to my open arms. Life is but a dream. It's what you make it. Always try to give. Don't ever take it. When you take part in my life, my love. That is my dream. Life is but a dream.
Welcome back to this special edition of the Doo-Wop Revival with my guest, Kenny Vance of Kenny Vance and the Planetones. In the late 80s, you had two solo albums. One was called Short Vacation, and I downloaded a song called The Performer, which is a little bit different from what we know of what you've done as the Planetones, but it was a number one song or number two song in the easy listening charts. That had to be a great thrill for you.
Well, actually, yes, it was. But when I first started to do that album, I had some interesting takes on songs like Trickle Trickle, like Heartbreak Hotel, like Bye Bye Love. I really did them in a very different way, Some Kind of Wonderful. And basically, I thought, that people would like that. But as it turned out, I had a few years before that. That album was recorded in 1988. So before that, I worked at Fania Records, and I had been doing recordings with people like Joe Bataan and Ralphie Pagan, and I was able to use the Fania All-Stars on the recordings. And so I was immersed in the salsa world. And so I wrote this song, and it was based on a guy named Arsenio Rodriguez, who was a very famous Cuban band leader. And I recorded it with some of the Fania All-Stars, not thinking that, it was just sort of a throwaway. Very on trumpet, and basically it became the #1 record on the easy listening stations.
Here it is, the performer, Kenny Vance.
A screaming confusion of what I suppose I'm supposed to be. My expectations are just choking away my soul. It's hard enough being alone when you care, being alone when there's somebody there. What would I do if I ever fell in love with you? Love is hopeless, you're guaranteed just a little pain. When it's over, nobody left around to what you lose in love, you make up in effect. Don't get too close to her. Inside my mind, you probably follow since you're a performer too. Sometimes I'm happy whenever you're near. Tell me you love me, drown in my fear. What would I do if I ever fell in love with you? What would I do?
We're going to head to the break, but on the other side, we'll continue with our interview with Mr. Kenny Vance of Kenny Vance and the Planetones, although I don't think we'll see much of the Planetones anymore, and he'll explain that a little bit as we move forward. But on the other side, we'll hear Mi Amore, Gloria, in a cut off his brand new CD, A Sunday Kind of Love. You don't want to miss that, so stick around.
Hi, this is Kenny Vance, and you are listening to the Doo-Wop Revival on WJCT 89.9 in Jacksonville. Together, we can keep this great music alive.
Mi amore, take my lips and kiss them. Take my love, take my hands and hold them. I am yours, my love, till the end of time. Take my arms, let them hold you. Take my love, take my eyes, let them show you. I am yours, my love, till the end of time. Till the end, till the end, till the end, till the end of time. Oh my love, my love, oh my love, can't you see? Our love was meant to be. Oh my love, oh my love, you were meant for me. Mi amore, take my heart and my soul. Take my love, our love will never run cold. I am yours, my love, till the end of time. Till the end, till the end of, till the end, till the end of time. Of time.
That's Kenny Vance in the Planetones off the Ocean of Time CD with Mi Amore. Boy, just some great music that you produced over the years. So here we are, October 2012. You're sailing along, no pun intended here, as you were on a cruise when Hurricane Sandy took away your home and all of your possessions. And you and I have done an interview before on this show about that. It was. I know it was devastating, but you've recovered from that, and you found out just really how many good friends you have out there in this world.
Absolutely. People had helped me replace many things, and what can you do, Glenn? You just you got to deal with the cards you dealt, and you just move on from it. The blessing in disguise was the fact that every week at that point we worked, and so for about a year or so, that was very gratifying and very reinforcing to work and keep that going. And then, as you know, I wound up with a medical problem that sort of took me out of the game completely, and that's where we're at now.
During that medical problem, because you can't sing, because you have not been able to get back on stage, you went back and you put together these two CDs, Lost and Found, and that really enabled you to go back and pull out some of that stuff that we probably would have never heard if it wasn't for this. So I know you're proud of both of those. Let's listen to a cut off of, I believe it's Lost and Found 1 or 2. You can tell us in a minute, but this is Gloria by Kenny Vance.
Oh, Gloria, it's not Mary, it's Gloria, it's not Sherry, it's Gloria, and she's not in love with me. You see, it's not Mary, it's Gloria, it's not Sherry, not in love with me. Well, maybe she loves me, but who am I to know? Well, maybe she wants me, but who am I to know? It's Gloria. It's not Mary, it's Gloria. It's not Sherry, it's Gloria, and she's not in love with me. And she's not in love with me.
Kenny Vance and the Planetones with Gloria off his Lost and Found CD. You can get that at his website. Kenny, tell him what the website is.
Well, KennyVance.com. You know that'll do it, and check it out and go to the shop page if you want. And that version of Gloria is a live version that we did at the Mohegan Sun, and that's on Lost and Found Volume 2.
I'm through with my old love. I loved her through and through.
All right, then we talked about the throat problems and why you haven't been able to get back on stage. And the last time that I saw you, before you had these issues, you were doing the New England Doo-Wop Society show, which you've done many times. As you know, Bob Belniak and Gary Jones do a great job of putting on shows up there. They really do.
Yes.
And I remember when you came in, I went back in the dressing room and said, look, you know, I had heard it. I'd seen it on YouTube. You did a performance at a club in New York, and I said, you got to do Sunday Kind of Love. I just love the version that you did because Frenchie did the falsetto throughout the whole thing. And I had never heard that except on an HBO special that Robert Klein, the comedian, did. He had a doo-wop group when he was younger, and he sang that song, and he had a guy doing that falsetto all the way through. And I'm sure that probably had something to do with the way you guys arranged that particular song for someone who made it original that you really respected.
Well, you're very perceptive. You know, I don't think there probably is not another person on the planet that would know that. And it's true. My dear friend Paul Griffin, who's passed on, obviously, when I had seen that YouTube video, I noticed that he had hired Paul Griffin as the keyboard player, which was a very astute move.
Oh.
And Paul, knowing Paul's genius, and he wound up playing with Steely Dan on many of their recordings, but he must have made that part up on the fly. He just made it up as he was singing. And I thought, what an unbelievable part. And as a tribute to Paul, I asked Frenchie, I said, look, you know, I want you to check out what Paul does, and I want you to, you know, do that. And every time Frenchie would do it, and he did a great job on it.
Absolutely.
I would think about Paul. And as a matter of fact, that recording, that version of it I have a new CD coming out. And it'll be coming out within, I would think in about a month. We're just getting the artwork together. And Sunday Kind of Love is on there, and Trenchy's doing a killer falsetto part. And that's the part, that we got from Paul Griffin.
I'm through with my old love. I loved her through and through. I'm searching for a new love. Can that new love be you? I want a Sunday kind of love, a love to last past Saturday night. I wanna know it's more than love at first sight. I want a Sunday kind of love, Sunday kind of love. I want a love that's on the square. Just wanna find somebody to care. I'm on a lonely road that's leading nowhere. I want a Sunday kind of love, Sunday kind of love. I do my Sunday dreaming and all my Sunday scheming, every minute, every hour, every day. I'm hoping to discover a certain kind of lover who will show me the way. My arms need someone to enfold, to keep me warm when Mondays are cold. Someone for all my life to have and to hold. I want a Sunday kind of love. I'm through with my old love. I love her through and through. I'm searching for a new love. Can that new love be you?
Oh, that is just a beautiful song. My all-time favorite by Kenny Vance. That's off his brand new CD that he sent me after we did the interview. It's called Kenny Vance. He's in the studio with Frenchie, obviously, and Johnny Gale. I'll have a lot more on Kenny Vance in this week's newsletter, so if you don't subscribe, send me an email, doop.revival@yahoo.com, and I'll make sure you get a copy of that newsletter. All right, back to the interview with Kenny Vance.
Everything's moving along, and there's a chance that you might be seeing me back in action. We'll see.
All right. Just to recap at the beginning, you are feeling better. Obviously, you've been into the studio. You are doing some recording, and you may get back on stage. What I was told is it's an artery issue where if you put pressure on the artery, there could be some danger of doing some damage to the artery.
I sing every day. You know, I sit with the guitar and I sing. All the songs that we love. The singing is fine. It's just a matter of maybe if I stood in front of a band and I really started to put that strain on myself, that I could wind up with a problem. And unfortunately, no one's willing to sign off on it. So they said, there's a chance that you could do it and be fine. But we'll see. I think maybe I can reinvent myself.
Yeah.
And come out, like I used to do Need You.
Yeah, do the easy stuff.
Like that, and For Your Precious Love. So I could do that, and maybe I will. We'll see.
We're praying that things go well, that you stay healthy. Kenny, best to you, and thank you for taking the time. I know that you've been very, very busy, and we'll go out with the show playing more of Kenny Vance's great music. Be well, my friend.
Okay, thank you so much, and man, thank you for keeping the music going. I really do appreciate that.